Hello and welcome to the YouTube channel of Chris Hierro, a singer, songwriter, producer extraordinaire. If you're here now, it's probably because I sent you here from my Instagram channel or because you're one of my family members. A few weeks back, I decided to do something a little crazy. I decided to throw my voice into an AI app called musicfi.ai. After watching some awesome people do some incredible things using just their voice, I decided to throw my voice in there and turn it into horns. And it was just a short little clip that I put up on my Instagram, and it just kind of blew up. A whole bunch of people started going crazy and commenting and fighting. My horn player friends wanted to kill me, but I was super excited to see that, so many people were liking it. So I decided to do a little follow-up as a response to one of the comments that I got. It was from a guy called Suck This Drip. He says, challenge. Earth, Wind, and Fire type horns on a fast joint. So I was like, oh, that sounds like a lot of fun, especially after messing with musicfi.ai the first time. It was super cool. So I went ahead and put together this track, and this video that you're about to watch is the whole process of me making that track and making the horn parts and putting them in through the musicfi.ai app and the result. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Check it out. If you mess with this, give it a like. Subscribe to the channel. Hope you like this. Peace. My trusty trillion is worth $1 trillion. Now I think I'm gonna go with the original P bass. This part is kind of tricky right here, but I think that works. All right, so let's try to add some keys to this just to give it a little ambiance and more of that kind of like vintagey vibe. I'm gonna do it with my Rhodes, my little baby Rhodes that's right over there. That's a good vibe, I think, for us to put our horns on top of. All right, so my plan with the horn parts is to record 3 separate channels of me doing whatever melodies I'm gonna do with my mouth over the top of this. And hopefully they work well together, and hopefully they translate to sounding like a real brass section. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. I'm gonna just kind of just do melodies, and sometimes they'll be unison, sometimes I'm gonna want them to open up into harmony. So I like certain things that pop up. I'll just add like a little something here. Let me see. So that's sabadadip. Obviously, I'm not gonna leave that like that because there's no S sounds in the horn, right? It's gonna be more like pa pa fa fa fa. Yeah, like something a little bit more melodic. I think that works. So what I did the first time I did this experiment was I took just that one melody and I ran it through the AI. And I ran it through a trombone sample, through a trumpet sample, and through a sax sample. And then I brought it back into Pro Tools, and then I melodized the notes. This time I'm gonna try a different approach. I'm gonna try to sing each note separately. And so that way it sounds a little bit more like each take was an actual take. And also I'm gonna try to get the notes already baked into the performance instead of changing it after the fact. All right, so check them out now after a little bit of melodyne. This is the last step before sending it into the AI to do its thing. Check it out.
ba ba ba
All right, so at this point, we're ready to send this to the AI. I'm gonna export first from here to my desktop, because that way I could just grab them really quickly. Good. All right, so let's see if they're all there. 1, 2, 3, perfect. Okay, so now we're gonna go to musicfy.ai. That's the one that I've been using to make my creations, but obviously there's a bunch of other options out there. I have my account that I already made. You just got to make an account with them, and then you could either record audio right on there directly, or you drag your files onto there. I'm gonna drag my file onto here, and while it reads it, I'm gonna go to the instrumental section up here. You know, you could choose your voice. Of course, you could choose a vocal too if you want to make it sound like anybody famous. Brass is the one that I used last time, and I think that one works. And here's a model that I made, actually, this trumpet. Let's generate. You have advanced settings here. I usually leave this alone, and then later on, if you want to tweak it and change it, you can do it. But let's see how it goes. Generate. This is insane what it did with it. Listen how this sounds. For real, for real, for real. No, this is crazy. Yo, for real? Like, nah. Okay, so that's obviously a trombone. I mean, it sounds like a trombone. It took what I did and it made it a trombone. So I'm singing in 1 octave, but the truth of the matter is that if you want to hear a trumpet sound good, you're probably gonna want it to play at an octave higher than this. This is a good octave for a trombone, but for like a trumpet, this is already getting into the low areas. I'm gonna do it in both octaves and see how it goes. Let me import it again, that same performance, and I'll generate it, like I said, with +12 on the pitch here, generate. So obviously that's effed up, and I'm not gonna be able to use that. I'll scrap that, and I'll start again with a different voice. This time, I'll go to my trusty trumpet that I made the last time. I'm gonna leave this at the regular octave that it's at right now, and I'm gonna generate it, and then I'm gonna generate it again with the high octave. Oh my goodness! I'm hype. Hey. Nice. All right, cool. So that is a low octave trumpet. And then I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna put the pitch up, and let's see how it sounds if I generate it with the high octave. It should sound better. It should sound more realistic. Okay. You know what's crazy? Even when it's reaching, it sounds real. So like, I'm guessing that if I layer this all together and I even leave that trumpet in there, it'll add girth to the whole thing. Let's see. I'll bring the octaves back down to the original, the way that I recorded it, and let's generate. Done. Saxophone. Yo, wow, that sounds real. Holy crap. So now what I would do is come back to my session, now that I generated all the horn parts, and I would import all these parts, and then let's hear these first 3 ones. Everything else is muted down here. Check it. That sounds cool, but let's see how this same thing sounds, adding in that high trumpet. So it sounds cool, but what happens over here, the trumpet disappears. We heard it when we were playing them back. What I'm planning on doing is going in and actually updating my trumpet model using other samples that have those registers in it, because that's the thing with these models. You know, you have to, it all depends on what you feed it. If you don't feed it those notes up there, it won't be able to generate them. So I'm guessing I trained that model on notes that didn't go at this high. I just got to find those samples and put them in and generate a new take. So let's do that now. All right, y'all, I got all my tracks together. I went and I reprocessed the trumpet with a different model, a model that had more of the high notes. So with this one, I think it sounds a lot better. And I also I tweaked the very first note to be even one octave even higher up to give it that real, you know, bombastic horn intro thing. Check this out, y'all. I think this sounds freaking crazy. What? Yo, like insane. Especially when they're all playing together. That's when it sounds the most real. It's crazy. So this is the new trumpet that I brought in. I just want to play it for you in solo so you can hear it. Crazy. Yeah, so that obviously that model works a lot better. So what I did with this one was, since I like that trumpet sound so much, I went and I processed every note that I did. Remember, I did 3 recordings, 3 notes. I processed each one with this same model. This is just the 3 trumpets together. I'm going to play them. It's awesome. You know, it does this thing that I've always struggled when it comes to MIDI horns, which is that since you're using the exact same sample, if you play the same note, that's a cool sound live. You know, when you have live trumpets and you just double the same note, there's this sound that has, and it's not the flange canceling out sound that happens with MIDI. With MIDI, they cancel out and it sounds funny always. With here, listen to how it sounds when they're all playing the same note. It's like you hear 3 trumpets. And especially since I did 3 performances and I processed each one separately, then it's like 3 performances with 3 different kinds of velocities and you know, and attacks and timing in the middle. So anyway, that's just the trumpets, and I think that gives it a nice width aside from the trombone and the sax. And then with everybody together, it just comes together in such a nice way. Sick. All right, so now all that's left to do with this little jingle that I have here is put a little maybe like a little reverb on there to bring them together. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw them all into a little group and put them in a room and call this a wrap, because I think we've been at this for a long time. Something not too crazy noticeable, just something that brings them together and gives them a little sustain. I'm wondering if I shouldn't do something a little naughty. I'm gonna go for it. Here I go. What happens if I take these notes and I put them up there? Hold on now. Wait a minute. That's gonna stay just like that. Wow. That's a wrap, y'all. If you like that, please don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know if you want me to try another kind of style of music, if you want me to try to do another kind of instrument with the Musicify app. That's the one that I'm using now. If you know of any other apps that are cool for this kind of thing, throw me your suggestions. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.